everybody, and welcome back to Noodles at Noon, the show that focuses on things that are not worth focusing on. I almost messed up the intro by saying something different. It's me, it's Ben, and we are joined this week by a man who just simply cannot put his phone down. It's Noah.
Sorry, I'm queuing up. I just sent a message. If anybody wants to join the chill chat on our Discord in the next hour, you will be live on the podcast.
That is true. So if you're listening to this on Monday or any other day, you're too late. But if you're a part of our Discord, which you can join at noodlespodcast.com,
noodlespodcast.com,
then you'll be good to go. And as you just heard, we have someone else here. Noah, we've recorded a podcast in this person's house before, but they weren't there.
They didn't even know we were recording a podcast.
They didn't know.
Here.
Wait, I don't know this story.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
We left you a mini golf coupon for the trouble.
Right.
In your
Okay.
office, yeah.
I do remember.
Yeah, it's Daniel.
Hey, everybody. Great to be back.
And I think we have a caller already.
Do we really?
Oh my gosh. Who do we have?
Oh, it's not. Can you talk?
Hello?
Hey. Oh,
We've
perfect.
got Michael on the podcast.
This sounds horrible. Like it sounds like is this like a plastic cup and a piece of string? What is this?
And we're 3 minutes in, and Michael is complaining.
Sounds good. Sounds good on our end. Look at this, man. The trifecta. Michael has been brought back into the fold.
This is the first time Michael's been on the podcast since he left.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Michael, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I got to go back to studying. I just thought Noah was in the voice chat.
Well,
all right, have fun with your kindergarten phone project here.
Wait. No, this is too good. You got to give us one thing. Like, it's been a long time, Michael. Give us one amazing story, one fact, one tidbit before you go.
The most amazing stories involve police officers recently, so I probably need to keep those to myself.
I mean, you're not getting arrested, as far as we know.
That we know of.
Yeah.
That's why he hasn't been on the show.
It was close, but gosh, I don't have any insight.
It's a lot of pressure.
Nothing's been good.
Oh man, med school. Am I right?
Yes.
Oh man.
Are you a doctor yet?
No.
Oh man. Are you going to be a doctor?
Yeah, 3 years.
Okay. Call
That's
back
not
in
bad.
3 years.
All right, I'll talk to you in 3 years.
All right, see you in 3 years, bud. Bye. Hey,
Wow, that happened.
worked.
We got Michael.
We got Michael on the
finally
podcast.
got him back.
That's what it took.
Yeah.
After like a whole year
Here he was.
of him not being on the podcast. And since we have Daniel, that means we have the soundboard.
We have all the fun toys.
Daniel's got the hookups through his employer.
Yep, and just like last time, I'm going to reach over and push all of these buttons.
You got to stick to these. I'm on this. Here, hit that one.
Hit this one. Ah,
Segue into the next
Time
segment.
for Gaming Corner.
where Noah's going to talk for 45 minutes about Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Daniel and I are going to go get coffee.
And I'm probably going to cry a little bit.
Oh, no.
Like happy cry.
Oh, happy cry.
Yeah, it's a good kind of cry.
One thing with the soundboard I do want to find out
Yeah.
is before we started recording, I realized you can push two of them and have them play at the same time.
Whoa, yeah.
Which, like, if we want cheers and laughter, like something I said was amazing and funny, we can play two. But now we have three going at the same time.
No, come on. Too much. With
Man.
great power comes great responsibility.
That's what I wanted to find out.
Ben has been banned.
Let's bring it back
for
home.
30 seconds.
Bring it back home.
Sorry. Back to the crickets. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you all so much for listening. You can find our podcast on noodlespodcast.com.
Noodlespodcast.com.
Or anywhere podcasts are available, like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Anchor, and coming to you live this week from, quite literally, Daniel's house.
Yep. Daniel's house. We experimented from Daniel's backyard. That would have been fun, but the wind and the wind chimes was just a little bit too much.
It was too much. If you know anything about Fairbanks, Alaska, it's that in March or April, whatever month it is, it's very windy here.
Atrociously.
I know. It's something about being like one of the most landlocked cities in the United States. Just so much wind.
And it just all that wind just gets you agitated.
Oh, yeah.
Like you just are on edge.
Yeah. It was a couple weeks ago, exceedingly windy for a week straight.
A week.
And I was just so mad at everyone and everything. Because I hate the wind. It's the most stupid weather phenomenon. As someone who studied meteorology in college, wind is stupid.
That's the official.
That's the official meteorological standpoint. Wind is stupid.
I have a feeling we're in for a lot of hot takes from Ben today.
Yes.
You get him live in person.
Yeah,
he's
hot
just
takes.
A hot take machine.
Bam,
Oh,
bam,
yeah.
bam.
Well, Noah and I can't do a live recording by ourselves because we'll just ramble.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a lot better when we're actually in the Discord because we're like, okay, we're recording a podcast. But when Noah and I are just together, we talk like how we normally talk.
And that's when I get messages from Daniel on Monday afternoon saying, hey, this week's podcast was pretty weak.
What was going on with you guys?
What was happening? It's like, that's just how Noah and I talk to each other.
We did have a piece of feedback from last week's podcast from our man Daniel, who
Hey.
What? Really?
I can't find the exact quote now, but he said something about like, hey, great podcast this week. Really enjoyed having Jess on the show. Did you record from like over phone booths or something like that?
Were
like
you
pay phones?
Were you guys recording via payphones?
Yeah.
Noah explained it. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. You like recorded through Discord.
We did the best that we could.
But hey, it was still a great episode. I know Jess Erfer. She is an amazing human being, and it was really cool to hear her stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shout out to Jess. If you haven't listened to that episode, go listen to it. What's it called? I can't remember what this one's titled.
Miracle of Life. Still pretty gross.
Still pretty gross.
Yep.
That was funny.
Because it is.
It's true.
It's true.
Oh, the people giving birth in nature as a reality TV show. Like, how could that executive team like gone forward like into production with that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think there was a team. I think it was just the husband with the camera being like, we're going to get on A&E. Because
Yeah,
I guarantee
true.
you that show was on A&E.
Well, I just think about like the editors of that show. Like when we see it, it's all censored and it's shot from angles where, you know, it's less graphic. But those editors that have to comb through all that footage, that must just be weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're just got to be numb to it.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
Yeah. I wonder if they have hazard pay.
Like Facebook moderators.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Well, anyway, Daniel, it's been a minute since we've had you on the podcast.
It's been a minute.
Fill us in. How is your life?
Oh man, life is good. I'm excited for the springtime weather. It marks the changing of seasons. Of course, we just went through Easter, which is one of my favorite holidays. Looking forward to the summer kicking in. Of course, that means we've talked about this before, right? The beekeeping thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Super Daniel.
Of course, it means the bee.
Or the husband to several bees.
The animal husbandry thing. In related news, on Monday, my hive swarmed.
Is that good? Is that bad?
It's a good and a bad thing. It means a hive is super healthy and it's overpopulated. So the queen and half of the bees abscond. And they go flying around, and hopefully they land somewhere nearby. And of course, they landed in my neighbor's backyard. We called the swarm hotline. They came and picked up the swarm. Those bees are now happily homed somewhere else. But it means that like that beekeeper's looking down on you, like you should have taken care of this. Like it's kind of up to the beekeeper to split their hive early, so it doesn't do that. Take care of it anyway. After a little bit of shade thrown by that person, we're all happy and good again. The bees are still out there doing their thing, looking forward to the honey. And
So you called the swarm hotline.
yeah, hot take. If you live, well, no matter where you are, if you see a swarm of bees somewhere, look up local bee swarm hotline. Just Google it and you'll get a phone number. Because all across the country, there are beekeeper associations, and they not only will respond quickly, like that person was here within like 30 minutes, but they take care of the bees humanely and they get the bees to another beekeeper who needs them. As opposed, wasn't there like a Major League Baseball story where a swarm of bees
Oh, it happens all the time.
had like come into a ballpark and they like sprayed it with Raid or something? Like they killed it, you know? And like there was all this pushback, this negative
Could have been wasps.
Could have been wasps. Although wasps don't normally swarm like that.
Do they not?
I don't know.
I like to imagine the swarm hotline person is the same guy for all of the country.
It's just one guy.
It's
just
one
one guy.
It's like, you think air traffic control is a stressful job. Nope.
Yeah.
It's the swarm hotline guy. He's just constantly, oh no, we got North Carolina. Oh, wait. We've got Texas. No.
Business is buzzing.
Business is buzzing.
Yeah.
This sounds kind of like a church split to me. Like inevitably, if you just don't maintain your body, it gets too big, and then factions happen, dissension takes place, and then half of it just splits and goes next door to
the next
next thing.
Yeah.
Sad but true. But
What sort of person would leave in a church split, though?
I'm staying out of that.
whoa, wait.
I've been thrown shade.
It sounds
Shade
like
has
there's
been thrown.
sounds like there's a story here.
No, it's fine. I'm not salty.
I don't know.
But our friendship survived.
Our friendship did
We
survive.
just both left our hives.
We both left our churches.
There is a story here. That'll be in the after hours podcast.
In the after hours
the
podcast.
Patreon.
Patreon, yeah. If you just, I don't know, is there such a thing?
Well, you know what's funny is that, yes, there is such a thing as our Patreon. And no, I haven't checked it in a year. So we may have Patreons. That
We might
just,
have millions of dollars on there.
that
like,
nobody.
You
gets.
promised all these perks, and they're like, these guys are the worst.
I'm slightly terrified to open it up and be like, I owe these people so much money.
So much content.
What am I going to do?
Oh no.
Yeah.
This is what you're giving them right now, Ben.
Crickets. I mean, they can still listen to the podcast.
Yeah. Hey.
Don't get any of the things I promised them, nor have I sent Bella her signed picture of Dennis Quaid yet. I mean,
That was like over a year ago.
that was a long time
That's-
ago. That was like episode 20. I don't know. But
We haven't talked about Dennis Quaid in a long time.
no, we haven't.
Dennis Quaid, there we go.
There we go. He made it.
Still need to get Dennis Quaid. Did I ever tell you I messaged him on Instagram? Because he has a podcast
Whoa.
about like pets or something. And I messaged both his Instagram and the podcast's Instagram asking if he wanted to be on our podcast. And the response I got was a resounding no response. And I haven't looked back.
You need to do it every single day. Every single day you're right.
Day 700 of asking Dennis Quaid to be on the podcast.
Have you heard of the podcast Dead Eyes?
No.
No.
There's a podcast called Dead Eyes. And I mean, it's about an actor, but he was like a super low level actor. I mean, probably not that different than maybe where you and I are, although we're not actors, but like he was going out for all these parts. He had landed a part in the HBO miniseries Band of Brothers, like one of the most famous miniseries of all time now. He had landed this tiny little part, and he was like to go to filming the next day, and he gets this panicked call by his agent saying, there's trouble. We need you to come down to the studio right now. Tom Hanks, the legendary Tom Hanks, was the director of that episode. He's seen your audition. He thinks you have dead eyes. We need you to come in.
And like brighten up your eyes or what?
He comes in, the podcast tells a story. You know, he comes in, he re-auditions, and he gets told pretty immediately, we're gonna have to let you go.
God.
So it was like this terrible, like heartbreaking story. And like it happened years and years ago, but like he got over it, right? He had processed it, but he was still processing it. So he's made a podcast telling that story. And then through the podcast, through all of like connecting with other actors, like he's like interviewing Judd Apatow, you know, all these famous people in the industry. And like, you know, that whole like 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon or 6 degrees.
Yeah.
Like through all of this, of course it culminates with him getting Tom Hanks on the
Yes.
podcast. So Dennis Quaid is not
That's true.
beyond reason.
That's true. It's kind of like, cause we're all music people, and you'll talk to someone like in church, or like someone who's leading worship or playing something, and be like, "Oh, you did such a great job," and be like, "I kind of messed up here, messed up there," and they're like, "Oh, no one noticed." And then you talk to another musician, they're like, "Yeah, you did."
Yeah, oof, that was brutal.
And like you watch a show and you're just like, the actor doesn't have dead eyes, but like, Tom Hanks can tell you have dead eyes,
and you know,
have dead eyes.
That's like the kind of thing that like that feedback should have never come back to the guy. Like, you're too like it was probably something. I mean, I listened to it, so I know some of the inside knowledge. It was not that at all. It was like, you know, it just didn't look right. You know, if you're in a scene, if there's something that's standing out, just not working, it's fine, but you got to serve the scene. And so a change was made. Anyway, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me with Tom Hanks, where I got rejected.
I was gonna say I got cut out of Band of Brothers too.
I was supposed to be in Toy Story 4, but my eyes were too dead. They wouldn't let me voice act for it.
Your eyes were more dead than the toys, the lifeless toys.
America's beloved Tom Hanks, the father of the nation, just telling people all over.
Dead eyes.
You got dead eyes.
You got dead eyes, man. That's his go-to excuse, and he just doesn't want to work with somebody.
I'm gonna go on. Find the video he recorded like at the start of the pandemic when he had COVID in Australia and just comment, "You have dead eyes."
Cyberbullying Tom Hanks. Yeah. That's what we're all about.
Oh,
now.
Man.
It's like this person fighting an illness. You have dead eyes.
Judgment is mine, saith Ben Shoemate.
That's heresy.
So that's my update. What about you guys?
What are you guys? I don't know. Noah, what have you been doing? Well, okay, wait. You have a story.
I do.
You were about to tell me something. I think we were doing our youth worship. Yeah, I know. I'm very excited.
This story, I can't wait.
We were about to like start our youth worship thing, and you're about to tell a story, and you went, "Oh wait, no, I can't share this.
I have to share it on the podcast.
I have to wait till we do the podcast." And all the kids looked at us like we were idiots.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking? And so did the other volunteers. They're like, "Podcast? What?"
Well, it's very brief, but it's actually an apology, because sometimes on this show, Ben, I like to think I'm better than you, or I like to think that I would never make the mistakes that you make.
Oh no. What did you do? I have a feeling I might know what it is, but you go.
It relates back to week 1 of the podcast.
I know what it is.
Oh my goodness.
What did you do instead of milk?
Well, okay, so I'm not a milk drinker because it upsets my stomach, but I am an oat milk drinker, which is great. It's like the best milk alternative, I think. It's really good.
Have you heard of grass milk?
Is that
what a cow makes?
Yes, it's the latest thing. Like literally, cows eat grass. They create this milk. They harvest the milk from the cows in a humane, equitable way. It's the greatest. It's the latest thing. Grass milk.
Yeah.
You should look it
check
up.
that out. Yeah, that's great.
That's like in Parks and Rec. I think there is an episode.
Yeah, that's exactly where that came from.
Cow's milk.
Cow milk.
Parks and Rec. Yay. Okay, sorry to interrupt. No, go ahead.
Well, I always you can buy like some different flavors of oat milk or different, I don't know, brands and stuff like that. And we always get the unsweetened, just base oat milk. But they were out of it. So we had to recently get vanilla oat milk. And this is not like mildly flavored vanilla oat milk. It is strong. It is like drinking coffee creamer. Oh, yeah. And the other morning, I really wanted cereal.
Oh,
and
my
it was
goodness.
the only milk we had. And so I poured this vanilla oat milk into my grape nuts, I think it was. And I took about 2 spoonfuls before I put the spoon down and realized I am no better than Ben.
You're no better than Finally.
Oh my goodness. Yay.
It took like a year, 2 years, but
It has happened.
I have been vindicated. Oh.
So, Ben, I want to apologize. Sometimes we just do things that are unbecoming.
Yep.
That are nasty. It was terrible, too. It was... I don't know how people, like, why anyone would buy that over the unsweetened oat milk. It's not good in coffee. It's not... I don't know.
Yeah.
And with that, we are now going to end Noodles at Noon forever.
Officially.
Officially, the show is done. Yeah.
I know we've got 3 listeners and they've probably listened to every single episode like I have, but if they needed to hear this story, where would they go?
Oh, they would go to noodlespodcast.com.
Noodlespodcast.com.
Or anywhere else podcasts are available, like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Anchor, and we've already done this.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, I'm losing it. I just realized that Daniel has a unicorn on his wall.
Truth. We need a picture to put in the Discord.
We do. I'll take a picture of what I'm looking at right now.
I think Ben's just distracting because he couldn't find a story.
Oh, podcaster fail. Ben just bashed his microphone with his phone.
The microphone went a bit farther. I'm using a different microphone this week, and it goes back a little farther than
Game's thrown all off.
Yep, the one I normally use. There it
His
is.
muscle memory is
I
no good
lovingly hand constructed that unicorn from pieces of paper.
Did it come in like a kit, or did you just do that?
So no, there are these. If you like look paper head, all kinds of things. You can find these online. So it came as as a PDF file. You print it off, and then you have to cut and fold and glue.
Wow.
And that is my passive, maybe not so passive aggressive, response to people who have animal heads on their walls. And if you have a live animal head on your wall,
I don't think
I
anyone
apologize.
I don't think they have a live animal head on their wall.
If previously alive animal head on your wall. Hey man, that's fine. You do you, but that's just not who I am. So I have a paper unicorn on my wall.
It's great. We're gonna get Dennis Quaid to sign that, and we'll send it to somebody.
No, wait. You get Dennis Quaid to make one, sign it, and then you can send his to somebody.
Fry that
You can keep
unicorn out of
yours.
Daniel's cold dead hands.
Man.
Jesse and I went to somebody's house for dinner this week, and super nice people. We had a great time. But the husband was taking Jesse around and showing her all the animals he had shot and taxidermied and put on his various walls, and he's just got tons of elk and different, I don't even know, deer, whatever you call them.
I'm sure Jesse loved that.
Jesse was, just so polite about it and just oh, that's really nice. And he's talking about where he shot them and how he shot them. And poor Jesse, who, is the same way, is just very not into hunting or very into killing animals.
Right.
It was fun to watch her just react so kindly and just try and be okay, that's really cool.
Jesse is obviously the best of us.
Oh yeah. It's the same way. I'm sure it was the same way that people are when I'm trying to explain baseball. And they're oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, you love this so much.
Oh, baseball.
Baseball.
They still doing that? How they doing?
They're doing good. They're still doing it. They're still doing the baseball.
It's still a thing. Okay, cool.
They are. I went to a game last week.
Whoa.
Last Saturday, I saw the Rockies play the Cubs. The Rockies won. It was a good game.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. The
That's
Rockies
that's great.
off to a good start this season. CJ Crone is amazing. Connor Joe is amazing. Shout out to those people who I will never meet. Well, maybe.
We'll get him on the
Maybe.
podcast.
Yeah. I'll instant message Connor Joe. If you want to be on my podcast. We have 3 listeners.
Ben, it's not just looking at you with a Colorado Rockies hat and the headphones and the microphone that makes me say this. I truly think maybe you've missed your calling. You need to be a color commentator for the Rockies. Who is it? Who owns their broadcasting rights?
It's AT&T Sports.
Okay, come on, man.
I messaged them.
Get your resume going.
I did actually. So the sideline reporter, she's no longer the sideline reporter. She does all of the in-studio stuff now. Her name's Jenny Kavnar. Shout out to Jenny Kavnar.
I remember from watching games. I remember that name.
I messaged her once on Instagram and I was like, hey, do y'all have internships or anything? And she was very nice. She responded. She's like, sorry, we don't. We used to have one, but we don't have one anymore. But yeah, all that stuff. She was very nice. So I've tried. I did color commentary for hockey when I was in college. I think I've mentioned that before on this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did color commentary for hockey, which...
Wait, do you know anything about hockey?
That's interesting that you bring that up because I got the job because someone walked into the newsroom because I was doing the campus news show at the time. Someone walked in and was like, hey, we need an extra broadcaster for the hockey team. Does anyone want to do it? And I did my normal thing when someone offers something like that where I count to 4. And I'm like, nope, no one else has said anything. I'll do it. And they're like, cool. To answer your question, no. I know the basic rules of hockey and all that stuff, but I did end up playing a lot of NHL video game. It was one of Michael and I's favorite games to play is hockey video games, but I played them a lot more intently to listen to how the video game broadcasters talked.
That was your research.
That was my research.
Yeah.
But also learned the rules that way.
Right.
And it was a great time. I did it for 2 years. I've gone back and done it a couple times. when they just need people to fill in because I
Yeah.
still know the people there. It was a good time.
So Jenny Kavnar, if you're listening to this,
Yeah, Jenny or Drew or
please
Jeff.
give Ben a call.
Yeah, give me a call.
I mean, non-aggressively, he wants your job.
Exactly.
Let's go big. Let's get the Monforts on here.
I don't want to talk to the Monforts.
The owners of the Colorado Rockies. Let's go big.
Do we like these people? I'm
No.
sensing something.
No, I don't like them.
Oh.
Unless they're listening, in which case,
We love you.
I
Call,
love
give
you,
Ben a call.
Richard.
We'd love for you to
Richard's my
sponsor the
favorite.
show.
What if you got a speak pipe
You can go to noodlespodcast.com.
from the Mumford family saying
The Mumfords.
Mumford and Sons saying, "I hear you're looking for a job, Ben. Give me a call."
Yeah, you have to.
Do you know what I would do if I got an email that like Marcus Mumford had left me a speak pipe? I would faint. I would pass out.
Oh, you
would,
fanboy out.
I would fanboy out so hard.
Speaking of, well, can I interject? Can I have a second item?
Of course.
Oh my gosh.
He hasn't been on in a while. Just let him have his moment.
Daniel, second story.
this last week, it's been a couple years since I've been to a concert, and we went to a concert this week. So we went down to I flew all the way to Denver from Anchorage, Alaska. Is that what we're still doing?
Yeah,
I've,
it's
from
Fairbanks, but
Fairbanks, got a direct flight, on a hovercraft. I don't know. Anyway, went to the Fillmore, saw Cave Town and Friends. Eleanor is my daughter Eleanor is super into Cave Town and some of these other people. I am too. I kind of introduced her to them. But we went to this concert, and this is going to make me sound old.
Uh-oh. He's going to complain about the vaccine requirement.
No, it was fine. Actually, the vaccine requirement was awesome. They like crushed that. Like the queue to get into the Fillmore, first you had your vaccine check, and then you went through the security. But it was.
are you about to say the music was too loud?
No. Actually, it was like I felt so weird because the music was not. I didn't feel like it was loud enough.
Whoa.
Well, okay, this is an interesting opportunity. What old thing do you think Daniel's about to say? Because I've got another guess, but what do you think he's gonna say that's gonna make him sound old?
I'm thinking like grinding. I'm thinking weed. I don't know.
I think
directions this could go.
it was at the Fillmore.
It was at the Fillmore.
They have seats at the Fillmore.
Just a
standing
few
for the whole
Just a
time?
few.
Just a few. Is that the one that's like a big room and there's only seats on the side?
Yeah, there's seats down the sides and some seats kind of up at the back, and these are just stools, and like some of those are VIP.
Okay, so
so it's a general admission place.
Okay.
It's a big place. Here's what I was going to say. Like concerts have changed a lot since I was going to concerts a lot. Like, and you have to know, my concert attending during my high school and college and post days, these were like, Fugazi and like, punk rock shows.
Yeah.
And like, so I'm used to like it's like kill or be killed at these shows. Like if you want your position, you got to put your elbows out and keep your position. If you want to go somewhere, and of course at these shows, like there's moshing, all that kind of stuff, maybe it's just the nature of the music. Cause like Cave Town's like super chill, like, some ukulele anyway, but like, it was amazing. Like these guys are like not only he, but the other performers were like so supportive of the crowd, like constantly saying, "Hey, are you guys all doing okay? Just want to make sure. Let's see. Like, give me a thumb up and give me a wiggle if you're doing okay." Like not only from the stage, but like the security people were getting those big coolers, and like then they'd get a partner with a big stack of cups, and they would push their way into the crowd and start dispensing free water to the crowd.
Whoa.
That's never happened
That's
at a concert. I've
yeah,
been
they
to.
charge like
it
$5
was
for that.
It was happening a lot. Like they were doing this all throughout the concert, at the end of we're hearing Discord noises.
Yeah, I don't think someone joined. I think that was just a message.
At the end of songs, like the performers are like saying, "Hey everybody, how are you doing?" Like just get like interacting. One of the performers, what's her name? Tessa Violet. She's she had some internet songs. She was like right before she started a song, like this fan said, "Will you marry me?" And she looked down and said, "Yeah, you got a ring." And he threw a ring on the stage, and she put the ring on. And like, "You're my third spouse so far this tour. Just want to let you know." I mean, it was a fun time, but at the same time, I kind of felt a little like a buffalo in like I don't know, like a rabbit.
You wanted
festival.
to tackle somebody.
I felt like a fish out of water. It was fun. Great music. If you don't know Cave Town, go listen to them. But it was just a different vibe. It made me feel like what's happened to kids these days.
So I will say, because I've been to the
They're so affirming. They're so great.
Yeah.
I'm probably making so many people mad.
No, I've been to the Fillmore twice. Both times I saw Switchfoot because that's who I see.
Ooh.
And like the first one I went to was Switchfoot. Or was that the second one? Okay, there was Switchfoot and Lifehouse. And then there was Colony House and Switchfoot. So many houses. And those concerts, like, they were more rowdy because, like, Colony House is kind of punk rock, but
Right.
And then Switchfoot is Switchfoot, and then Lifehouse, like, there was a bunch of really more rowdy people there. I don't even think Lifehouse is that rowdy of a band, but there was a bunch of people who were like, I remember Lifehouse from when, because they're kind of an older band at this point. And then I went to go to a concert that was just Switchfoot. They were the opening and the headlining act, because they opened like all the acoustic style, and it was just Switchfoot the whole time. And everyone was so chill. Like,
yeah,
I was like, oh, so none of the people who were doing all the rowdy things at the other shows were the Switchfoot fans. And then I went to the Switchfoot show, and everyone's like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Hey, John's got a ukulele. This is cool.
Yeah. So maybe it was the style of music.
So yeah,
maybe that was it. Have you? I don't mean to like totally monopolize, but have you heard my Switchfoot story?
Yes, you went surfing with them.
Okay,
well, you didn't go surfing with them, but
I couldn't remember if I told you that.
I have heard. I think I've heard it from you, and then I think Noah told me about it once too.
Okay, well, was it on the podcast that he talked about it?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay, real quick story. In another season of life, when our family was in the Philippines, we were in media, we were doing Christian missions, and all of these Christian bands that kind of came through would need to do their media stops. And so our organization were oftentimes, and you know, one of the guys who worked for us had the like Christian radio show, like the alternative music Christian radio show for the country. And so they'd call us and we'd, you know, kind of do the pre-interview, you know, we kind of do some of that stuff. But then like, you know, when Switchfoot came and we were doing this stuff for them, we kind of also ended up doing some of the hospitality for them, hanging out with them.
Yeah.
Just so, you know, they're great guys. I hadn't met them before, but it was really cool to get to meet them in this context, get to hang out with them, not only do the press conference, but then between the press conference and the show, you know, there was about 2 hours. And so, one of the guys in Switchfoot, you'll know, who's the Filipino guy? Jerome is Filipino. And so he had told John and Tim like stories of what the Philippines is like. And there's two things. One is like in a lot of third world countries, traffic is crazy. Mm-hmm. They have this public transportation and they have these kind of customized, they look like old army Jeeps, but they've been elongated. So there's like, you know, you can get 20 passengers in them. They're called jeepneys. And of course they fill totally up, but more people need to commute. And so other guys will grab onto the back or the sides and hang on to it as it's going through traffic. And it's called Pinoy surfing. And of course, John and Tim are surfers, and so they had to do it. Yeah. So we took them outside the concert hall, went across to the jeepney transit area, got on a jeepney, and like the Switchfoot guys were like loving it as we were driving through like, you know, polluted diesel exhaust everywhere, but they're just grinning from ear to ear as they're like Pinoy surfing. And then went back to their hotel. We had dinner with them and then went back to the show. It was a great time. That's awesome. I'll try to send you some pictures. Noah, you can put them on the Discord.
Go to the website. Go to newspodcast.com.
I want to check.
Newspodcast.com.
Newspodcast.com. I think I talked to you about this in the year that they were there when they're doing all this stuff. They're also filming a documentary called Fading West. which is a great documentary. Highly recommend it. But I like want to go back and like, is Daniel in this podcast?
Yeah, because one of the dudes who was with them, not in the band, but a media guy, was carrying around like a Sony XD cam, and was like filming everything.
Yeah.
So you're right. That's probably in there.
Ben, you got okay. That's your assignment is to go and see if you can find Daniel in the Switchfoot Fading West documentary.
Fine, I'll go watch Fading West. Shout out to Switchfoot. If you want to come on a podcast, let me know. Because why not get Switchfoot on the podcast?
Yeah, let's get Switchfoot on.
Let's go.
When I was in high school, we had a student teacher in our music program. His name was Gaby Baby.
Wow.
Whoa.
Actually, I think
name?
I think you do you know Gabe Rushable?
Where would I know them from?
Oh, church stuff, but it was somebody else I was thinking of.
Okay, maybe.
But when they were introducing him, Mr. Taves was like, or my music teacher was like, this is our new student teacher. He went to UNC, got all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, and he's the former bassist from Jars of Clay.
Whoa.
And I was like, hold on a second. I know Jars of Clay. So I talked to this guy, and he was our student teacher, and then they hired him the next year.
Nice.
So I talked to this guy a lot, and there was one point where I was like, because the bassist for Jars of Clay, it was never like part of the band. It was just they would get people to fill in.
Yeah.
He was one of the ones who would fill in most often. So if you go look up the music video for the song Flood.
Oh yeah.
That's one of their big hits.
Yeah. He's in the back with his bass. And I'm like, it's Gaby Baby. But there was one time I was talking to him. I was like, hey, Gabe, do you have John Foreman's phone number? He was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, can I have it? And he was like, why? Because I want it. No.
Dang it. Nice try.
A nice try. And so he's an amazing bassist. Like I would just come into the band room and he'd just be on the bass. One time I came, I'm like, do you remember any stuff from Jars of Clay? And he just looked at me and goes, boo, boo. I'm like, oh yeah, he does.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's all the same music.
This segment of 90s and 2000s Christian rock has been brought to you by
Manscaped.com. Anyway.
What?
I do remember because I used to work with the former bassist for Reliant K.
Yes.
And sometimes he would be sharing his screen, like helping me fix some coding issue on a website, and he would just like get a text from some like big name that I would recognize from Christian music, and I would just would like try not to react because I didn't want to make him uncomfortable or be like, oh my gosh, you have this person's phone number and he's like texting you about your dinner you ate last night or something. That's cool.
I wonder what it's like to know famous people.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is, not that I know, but I think it's probably just like knowing normal people.
It's probably true.
I mean, it's just your friends.
Yeah. As we talked about with Jess last week, I know one famous person and I have their phone number in my phone, but I'm never going to use that resource.
Right. Yeah. You just can't do it.
Yeah. We have a speak pipe. Speaking of speak pipes.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. Are we ready to hear from the famous Justin Lowmaster from thespaceturtle.com?
Woo! I'm ready.
All right. I'm going to leave the Discord and then go to, okay, here we go. This is from Justin Lowmaster.
Justin Lowmaster here from thespaceturtle.com. I was not banned from a Walmart or kicked out, but I did once dress up as a ninja. So I had a black shirt, long sleeves, black pants, black football shoes with plastic cleats, even though I didn't play football. That's a whole nother story. Anyways, and then the old t-shirt ninja mask. So often, people kind of looked weird, and then people were like, kind of freaking out. Not too much. And I thought, well, I should go get something while I'm here. So I grabbed a banana, because why not buy a banana when you're dressed as a ninja? I was walking up, I was going to go to the first cashier, but that lady looked like she was about ready to panic and pass out. So I was like, I'll go to the next one. And the guy's on the phone, and he looks at me, and he looks at the banana. He says, never mind, hangs up. So I put the banana on the conveyor belt. He asked me, why are you coming dressed like that? And I'm like, I don't know. Because, I'm a ninja. I'm not going to talk. So I just shrugged, pay for my banana, leave. Might as well do it once, I guess.
Might as well do it once a year.
Whoa.
He didn't go into the Walmart with any intention of buying anything.
Yeah, so
It was a spur of the moment decision to get the banana. He just went in the Walmart.
if I'm in the Walmart, I feel this awkward. I feel like I should at least give them 20 cents or whatever a banana costs.
I want to know what Walmart he goes to because I feel like I see a ninja roughly every time I go
Right.
to Walmart.
I
These
think it's hard
days-
to stand out in a Walmart.
Yeah.
It's hard to stay. Like these days, almost every other person's like wearing some sort of costume
Oh, yeah. It's
but not a mask.
and
Not at
refusing,
Walmart.
and refusing to talk.
that's why people were looking at him.
Yeah, they were mad because he was
He's
wearing a
wearing a
mask, no face covering.
That was like a flash mob of one. Like if you're in that Walmart and you see this happening, you're like, you're looking around waiting for like the next
Where's the
weird
next ninja?
thing to
Or the
happen.
other 80
Wait, can we do the very first Noodles at Noon
flash
Flash
mob.
mob?
flash like meet up and like make it a flash mob?
As long as it's in a Chili's.
Oh, that would be,
Mob at Chili's.
that'd be awesome.
What if we just showed up at a Chili's one day with all of our recording stuff and just set it up at a table?
Yeah.
I do kind of admire those podcast but outside guys. Have you ever seen that podcast?
We tried to do that.
Their color scheme is extremely close to ours, and they've also been running longer than us, which makes me wonder if I subconsciously had seen their branding before I designed our branding, but we won't talk about that.
We should still sue them.
Yeah, we should still sue them. I think we have a case. But yeah, they do like podcast outside of a Chase Bank or podcast at a Trump rally or podcast at like they just go different colleges and different places, and like anybody can walk up and take their third mic and record with them. So
Bring it on the road.
we could do that in a Chili's, but they usually get permission, I think. So
I don't know. Chili's. Shout out to Chili's. If you want to do a podcast, let me know. See how many times I can say that during this show.
This segment has been brought to you by Chili's.
I mean, honestly, if we did it like at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday or something, they'd probably be fine with it.
They'd be fine.
I mean, do they even open by 10 a.m.? I feel like most restaurants open at 11.
Okay, 11.
And those bottomless chips and salsa, am I right?
Am I right? So good. I just like chips and salsa.
Well,
Always.
That's now that neither my brother and I are in college anymore, and my parents aren't paying for college. Anytime we go to eat somewhere, they're always like, let's get chips and salsa for the table. I'm like, we're high rollers now.
Yeah, boy.
That's what my tuition was preventing us from.
Pro tip, it comes free with your 2 for $20 or whatever.
Really?
oh man,
He goes to Chili's more than I do.
I could go for some Chili's right now.
It's on the rotation with my folks. It's one of their faves.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Want to go to Chili's, Noah?
Yeah, let's go to Chili's. Daniel promised us brats and waffles, and I've seen no
I
food
tried.
here, so
I tried.
Yeah, I mean, I was busy this morning, and then I'm busy this
evening.
afternoon.
No, I get it.
I'm sorry.
It'll happen one of these days.
One of these days, I'll eat your food. Today is not that day.
How about a game? We could play a game instead.
I'm down to play a game. Oh, we need a speak pipe question.
Oh, speak pipe question.
Sorry, that was premature.
Melissa, Daniel's girlfriend. Oh, she does not want to be talked to. If you could ask a fan base of dozens of people any question, what would you ask them? She's just giving me an angry look
Too much pressure.
and a shrug. Daniel, what's our speak pipe question?
If Noodles at Noon and our community were to do a flash mob at any location, what would it be? Tell us where the ideal Noodles at Noon flash mob location and theme would be. Let's hear it.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's great. I also want to appreciate.
And also, we need a title for this episode. So, is flash mob still a thing?
No.
Are flash mobs still a thing?
No.
There you go.
I have not seen one.
Yeah, that era of YouTube kind of died.
Honestly,
okay.
I'm glad.
So much pressure.
I'm tired of
To do
living
the
in
next big
stress
thing.
anytime I go to a mall. Like, is
I know.
someone just going to start singing?
Because
Like,
no one goes to malls, so you can do a
Flash mobs
mob.
and that Canadian show they always show on airplanes, the Just for Laughs show, like where they do like elaborate pranks in malls and there's never any audio. Oh man, this is not landing with you guys. You guys are giving me the emptiest blanks.
I've not seen this show.
Have you heard of Just for Laughs?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry, everybody. Go to YouTube, look up Just for Laughs, and watch a few of them. You'll like it. But that era, I feel like, is kind of
because that was also like Gangnam Style, and what was the other one where like one person would be dancing and then it would cut.
Oh, Harlem Shake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys participate in a Harlem Shake?
I did not. I was
did.
not invited.
You did? I did. What was your Harlem Shake story?
You've done this before, Noah. You were a part of the music team at one of the Power Surges that we've done before up in Estes Park.
Did we do a Harlem Shake?
We did a Harlem Shake.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
And then we did the mannequin challenge.
I've done a mannequin challenge.
Yeah.
I don't think I have. I didn't.
Ben's countercultural.
As someone who went to public school, I didn't do a lot of these. my friend
Leave it to the homeschooler.
Yeah. Homeschoolers know
the
what's
chubby
up.
pirate to have all this exposure.
Heck
I mean,
yeah.
I just don't think it was my friend group's thing. We would just watch those on YouTube, but never really do them.
Wow.
Just a consumer. Just a consumer, Ben. Well, speaking of consumption, who's ready to play a game about consumer interests, I guess, in a broad way?
We're cheering. This is Ben and I. We're ready.
All right. Well, first we have to talk about the news story this week. Do you guys own any stock in Netflix?
Yes.
No.
Do you actually, Ben?
All of my stock is in Netflix.
All of my stock's in CNN Plus.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wait,
really
maybe that's
sorry.
what I bought.
Shoot.
Heard it was going to be big last month. Well, I don't know if you guys saw the story, but Netflix is not doing so well.
Wow.
They lost like 200,000 subscribers in their most recent earnings call.
Yikes.
And it's the first time that they've lost subscribers. And their stock like totally tanked because of it. Everybody's losing confidence in Netflix. It's over for Netflix. It's all about CNN Plus now, I guess.
But I think I know why.
Why?
This coincides with their announcement that they were really going to crack down on
Sharing passwords.
password sharing. Like finding out your friends or your mom and dad's like Netflix password and like leeching up, like they were going to start cracking down on that.
Yeah.
But what I don't understand, because I thought that too, is why would that result in a loss in users? Because you're not losing the people who had
You're right.
an account.
You're losing people who didn't have an account. So maybe it's
I think they're cracking down in response to losing subscribers. Is kind of what I read.
Oh.
And it's just like such a fractured, like there's so many streaming services. It used to just be Netflix.
Too many.
And Hulu.
Too
Way
many.
And now you have CNN Plus and Disney Plus.
Well, you don't have CNN
and You don't have CNN Plus anymore. But
Paramount Plus, blah, 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 plus.
I have Paramount Plus. That's like the only one I have. I have MLB TV, but I get it for free because I have T-Mobile. But
Right.
I have Paramount Plus just so I could watch the new iCarly.
We have it solely so we can watch Survivor. We are Survivor fanatics.
Never watched it.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm too busy watching iCarly.
The best show.
well, anyway, as you know, as other streaming services have arisen and people have pulled their content off of Netflix and onto their own streaming services, like you can't really get a lot of Disney on Netflix anymore.
That's true.
They just pulled Star Trek The Next Generation, which I was real mad about. Now that's on Paramount Plus, so I'll have to steal Ben's password.
Paramount Plus.
But Netflix has created, they created Daredevil, and that was a big deal. They created like an original show, and then they created another show and another show. And now they're just releasing, they just put anything on Netflix. Like they have so much content that it's mostly original stuff now. And a lot of it's kind of weird.
One of my favorite TV shows, it was a Netflix original. It was called Space Force. And I loved the first season. And then they just came out with the second season. I watched the first episode, and it just now occurred to me that I haven't watched any of the other episodes. Like it was that it was meh. Like I laughed.
Yeah.
Was that Steve Carell show?
Yeah, it's Greg Daniels and Steve Carell.
Yeah.
And so, Greg Daniels created The Office and Parks and Rec.
Yeah, we watched both seasons and we're like, okay, well, I'll never watch that again, but
Yeah.
it was fine, I guess. So anyway, I have a list of about 12 Netflix shows here, and you guys have to tell me if this is a Netflix show or if I made it up.
All right.
And
Love
this
it.
is not a Netflix show. You'll both get to answer all the questions. You guys can answer the same answer. I'll have you shout out at the same time if you think this is a real show or not. So we'll just get right into it. This is not a Netflix show. I'll just say that again.
Here's your host, Noah Metzger.
Who's just mad that he still hasn't gotten his Netflix show.
I will say, you see some of these Netflix shows and you're like, I could write a better show.
Yeah, if this person got a Netflix show.
Like, are they even really giving their best?
Are they trying?
Are they trying?
You're really going to feel that way after this game.
Oh, no. This is going to hurt me.
All right, so question 1. You all know him. You all love him. Late at Night with Shrek is a series of animated shorts featuring the Green Ogre in a late-night variety show setting. While each installment of this 8-episode run only lasts 7 to 10 minutes, we see Shrek answering viewer questions, interviewing characters from the kingdom of far, far away, and the recurring segment, Farquaad Facts.
Yeah.
A lot of Shrek content on Netflix lately.
That's a big animation budget.
That's a big... I mean, I don't know. They got the Shrek model already.
It sounds exactly up Netflix's alley.
Yeah?
Like a super cheap show that they could just put out.
I think this is more in the line of Netflix Kids, though.
Yeah.
But
There's no distinction here. If it's on... Is that like a different...
Netflix or Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's like a thing where you can click on, but it's Netflix Kids, and you can't watch, I don't know, Game of Thrones. That's not on Netflix.
So how are we doing this?
All right, so I'm gonna say, give me your answer in 3, 2, 1, go.
Not a Netflix show.
I was gonna say it is a Netflix show.
Ben says yes. Daniel says no.
I was gonna say it is because there used to be a show called Take Two with Phineas and Ferb, which was exactly like this.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it was on Disney XD, and it was like 2 or 3 minutes long. And they would interview, like, I think Taylor Swift was on it and Slash was on it one time.
That's amazing.
And it was just Phineas and Ferb interviewing people and doing things like this. So I think it's loosely based off Take Two with Phineas and Ferb.
Well, the answer is this is not a Netflix show.
That's for me.
Daniel takes
That's for Ben. Sorry.
I should have known with the Farquaad Facts.
I wrote out more information about Farquaad Facts, but my description got too long and I decided to cut it.
Give me a Farquaad fact.
Well, I just said that Farquaad Facts, where Lord Farquaad appears to share a fact, usually involving some form of mildly disgusting body humor.
So,
like
actually what you're doing here is you're like building up a repertoire of these shows you're going to pitch.
Yeah. Yeah. All these shows that I made up. I spent an hour like pitching Netflix shows yesterday.
Yeah.
Not a Netflix show.
And then play testing with Jesse.
Noah's like getting that residual income. He's going for the royalties.
Yep.
If anyone from Netflix is watching,
All right. So speak pipe at noodlespodcast.com.
Exactly. Newspodcast.com.
All right. Next show, entitled Will You Choose the Collection or the Connection, is a 2016 Japanese reality dating show that brings 12 single nerds from a variety of fandoms together in a chance to compete for the heart of a well-known Japanese pop star. Whichever player makes it to the end and forms a connection with the girl is given the opportunity to marry her, but only if they burn their entire collection of memorabilia from their favorite fandom.
Ooh.
Discuss.
I'd have to burn a lot of baseball cards.
Right.
Wow.
I'd have to burn all my Sonic the Hedgehog sculptures. I don't know.
Super specific and super harsh.
It is super harsh. I don't know if if for someone I just met, though, that's my whole thing with all of these shows.
No. Like you said, it's like one of those Japanese idol gals.
Yeah.
Like these are
worship those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but like, what are the odds? Because like, if I was married to someone and they're like, burn all your baseball cards, it'd be like, okay, I'm married to you.
And why would she agree to marrying? So
exactly.
I feel like there's got to be a catch here, but it totally seems like a Japanese show. Like I'm gonna say okay, I'm just going for it.
You're gonna say yes?
Yes, a Netflix show.
I think yes too, honestly.
That is not a Netflix show.
Come
on. This is like the question I spent the longest on. And I was like, are they going to just be like, this is ridiculous and say, no, you made that up. And I'm just really glad that I was able to.
What did Jessie say? Because she tested this game.
Jessie, I think she said yes to that too. I think she got it wrong.
Because it's so close to what a Japanese show is like. Like to get these people off the street and they abuse them on these shows. Like humiliation.
That's what reality shows are all about.
No, well, in this case, like they go, there's like, it's uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
The couple that I've seen.
Well, speaking of uncomfortable to watch, Slow TV Salmon Fishing is a 7.5 hour movie available on Netflix that compiles a variety of clips of salmon fishers looking to hook a fish along the riverbanks in Norway. 7.5 hours. Slow TV Salmon Fishing.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
I'd watch that. It's real.
I'd totally be down.
Yeah. We should put that on the TV once we're done recording.
Man.
I hope it's real. I'm going to say it's real.
Me too. I got to go with you.
All right, Ben and Daniel both say it's real, and it is real.
Yes.
Sadly, only available in Netflix Australia, from what I read.
I have a VPN.
Tunnelbear.com.
But yeah, as one of the descriptions I read said, like, if this show, like, it's shot with like a Sony Handycam, and it's like, if this show made it on a Netflix, like if Netflix bought this, you should feel encouraged that you could maybe buy something, make something that Netflix
like
will
just
buy.
get out there and film it, and you never know.
All right. Well, next question. After the success of the reboot VeggieTales in the House, get ready for new adventures in VeggieTales in the City as Bob, Larry, and the gang explore new worlds from the moon to the mountains.
See, this is tough because I don't think Phil Vischer owns the rights for VeggieTales anymore. So in my mind, I was like, I don't think Phil Vischer did that. And then I was like, I don't think Phil Vischer matters anymore.
I don't think he controls. Yeah, it's just DreamWorks. Whatever DreamWorks wants to do. And they didn't do the Shrek TV show. So did they do VeggieTales in the City?
Wow. See, that's news. I was going to say Phil would never have done that.
I know, but I don't think Phil.
If he doesn't own the rights anymore, then for sure.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be some executive out there looking to monopolize off the Metzger family demographic.
Yeah. Yeah. I watch anything VeggieTales.
I don't know if he like straight up sold it. He might have some controlling interest, but I don't know.
Man.
Because does he still do the voices?
He does, I think, still do the voices for a lot of this.
Wow. You're gonna have to give us a countdown.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Not real.
That is a real show.
Oh,
and it
we both missed it.
So it just sounds so lame that I didn't think it sounded like a real show, but it really is. Because VeggieTales in the House, they use the new designs where they have like irises. They don't just have like black pupils. It's scary.
Yikes.
It's not. It's not good.
Shout out to Phil Vischer.
Phil can't be doing those voices. It's got to be like somebody else. So they're all going to sound a little bit off.
But he is doing most of the voices.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Still does like Bob. And after 4 questions, Daniel's in the lead 2-1. Next question. Test Patterns, which currently has 4 seasons on Netflix, features a variety of episodes in different aspect ratios and formats and serves as a test pattern for your TV.
Oh.
It features the usual colorful bars, but also a picture of a small child playing with colorful toys. The first episode is entitled Multi-Purpose Chart 3840 by 2160, 23.976 frames per second. Is this a real Netflix show?
So, back when I was making really bad short films in high school, I liked to put everything in a 22:9 aspect ratio, which my camera can't do naturally.
So you pasted black
did black bars?
on the lens?
Yeah, I put black tape or just regular tape on my viewfinder so I could tell what was inside the bars or not. However, since I couldn't do this in camera, I had to know where to put the tape. So I would put on a movie in that aspect ratio on my TV, and then I would point my camera at the TV and put
That's smart. That's smart.
over the black bars on the TV. And this would have come in handy.
It would have.
It would have come in much handy. I mean, at one point I did buy a monitor that could pre-do that. So that solved that problem for me. But I think this, I'm not going to tell you what I think.
Right. You better give us a countdown. I mean,
3,
okay.
2, unless Daniel has something to say, 1.
Real.
No. Fake.
It is real. Ben takes the point.
I was going to say, like, this is so nichey nerdy that Noah would totally make this up. But then,
I would
like,
put 23.976 frames per second.
I probably should say yes, just because Game in the Game, it's been too long of a streak since they've not been real. I should have gone with my gut.
No, as soon as you started, I'm like, yeah, this exists.
Good job, Ben.
This is a real thing. Like,
Tied up.
yeah.
Well, I always randomize these. So like after I write the questions, I randomize them. So you can't determine that I'm like, oh, I did 2 fake ones in a row. I got to do a real one. Just so you know.
Michael performs some like psychological
because
experiment.
Michael goes psychological on me and gets everything right.
He does.
All right. Well, the score is tied up 2-2. Coffee with Michelle is an intimate look at the daily life of Michelle Obama. Get to know the real First Lady in this 4-part docuseries chronicling life after the White House and learn how she takes her coffee.
Just count down.
Just count it down.
3, 2, 1.
Real.
Fake.
Oh my gosh.
I know she has a podcast.
Yeah.
Because she has a podcast.
Like,
I
what do you
figured,
do?
Why not have a Netflix show?
If you're a former First Lady. I'm sure you've got all kinds of stuff to
book
do.
deals. I mean, and the Obamas have like some lucrative Netflix deal. Like he's doing that National Parks show or something now.
Is he?
Is he?
Yeah, he just popped up on my Netflix that he's like, I don't know, narrating some show about national parks or something. I don't know. I didn't watch it, but
I'd watch that.
yeah, it looked cool. I don't know. It looked pretty. Okay. Well, anyway, I got you both. I think I get a point for that.
We'll give you a point.
All right. Next question. Doppelgangers was a short-lived reality show that saw each episode bring 2 people that closely resembled each other together and let them swap lives for a week. If they managed to go the entire week without anyone catching on, they would receive $10,000.
I buy the premise. I don't buy the if they can do it without anyone catching on thing.
Yeah, it has to be a specific, like you probably can't swap out Daniel. Like your family would probably notice, but if you're like
Just going to work.
a single New York studio apartment kind of person that see your friends at the bars,
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know, like Ben is here.
The nightlife of Fairbanks, Alaska.
Yeah, Ben's a nightlife kind of guy.
Noah's seen my nightlife. I play GeoGuessr for like 2 hours and then I go to bed.
That's true. That's what we do over Discord. All right.
I got my
3, 2, 1.
Real.
It is not real.
Yes.
Oh no!
I couldn't buy a whole week without someone noticing.
I say real though because I've seen, like, without like that trade lives part, they have this show on Netflix where like it's all these stories of like doppelganger type people, like, you know, where you find someone who looks exactly like you and then like you meet in real life, like your Swiss twin or something.
That would be interesting.
They have that show.
That'd be
I
pretty
forget
cool.
what it's called, like the 2 of us or something weird.
It's not called Swiss Twin.
Not called Swiss twin because it's not all just Swiss people.
No, there have to be Swiss people.
All right. Next episode or next show. Tattoo Redo is a makeover reality show where bad tattoos walk in and great tattoos walk out. Some of the top tattoo artists in the world transform some of the worst tattoos in the world in this heartfelt lifestyle show.
Count us down.
Daniel's seen it. 3, 2, 1. The dog's tripping over the cords.
Real.
Oh, have you both seen this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really? I'd never heard of this before.
I mean, I haven't watched it, but I know of it.
All right, you guys both get the point. My Netflix history is all over the place now because I watched a little bit of all these shows, like test patterns.
Jesse's going to say, Noah, we need to have a talk.
How much Netflix have you been watching?
I've been watching a lot of Netflix, but I just watched like 2 minutes of something and then switch over. All right. A slightly controversial addition when it first premiered on Netflix. There are those shows. You see them in the news. Reproduction is a documentary special that chronicles and celebrates the diverse mating habits of animals from across the globe. Have you guys watched this one?
I haven't, but I definitely now feel for your Netflix search history.
Let's go.
3, 2, 1.
Not real.
That is not real. You're
Dang it.
correct.
Ben, you should have gone for it.
No, it wasn't real. No one would watch that. That's not true.
Your brother would watch that.
I don't think he would watch it.
I don't know. He's a science
Maybe
guy.
have it on while he's doing dishes.
Yeah.
Something non-committal.
Yeah, it's like background TV.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
what the salmon one was.
Ben is still in the lead, 5-4. We have a few questions left. Sparks, one of the shortest films on Netflix, is a 3-minute film showcasing the daily life of a welder.
Oof. I mean,
Why 3 minutes?
I don't know, Daniel. Why 3 minutes?
it's just a bit of spot welding.
It's a short weld project.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. This one's tough because I feel like this definitely exists on YouTube.
Yeah,
Why is this not a YouTube video?
Why is
all
this on
over.
YouTube video.
it is. I've seen it. All right, let's go.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Not real.
It is real.
No way. Oh, shoot.
It's a test for HDR TVs because you get like the brightness of the sparks contrasted with the background.
Get it.
So it's basically just like a HDR test for your TV. But I looked it up. I went and found it on Netflix and watched it. It's real. It's a good bathroom watch when you're on the bathroom. And
I'm surprised it's just not like called sparks.mp4.
yeah.
Man. I guess I'm
right.
not going deep enough in the weird Netflix categories.
Well, have you seen, Daniel, 4-episode example show for automation, which is another test show on Netflix featuring 4 short episodes of random footage from the animated show BoJack Horseman, and was created to show how Netflix's autoplay feature works at the end of each TV episode.
No, please no.
It can't be. I mean, this is like they would need clearance on BoJack. I'm not even waiting.
BoJack's rights.
Not real.
It's not real.
3, 2, 1. Not real. Not real.
Not real.
It is real.
Come on.
I watched the whole season. It's about 40 seconds.
He's never seen BoJack Horseman. Why would we?
I have actually.
Oh, you have?
What?
It got depressing. I didn't like it. It was sad.
It is sad.
How is that
Wow,
real?
that's 2 for Noah.
Yeah, I think I'm.
I think he's up
I'm
to
winning
3
this game.
now.
You're even beating me in this game. That's how
Yes.
good I am at these games.
Oh no, you have 4. It's Ben 6, Daniel 4. We have 2 questions left.
Okay. Well, let's go.
There's a chance.
All right. Staring Contest with Nick Offerman was a 12-episode miniseries put out by Netflix on April 1st. Each episode featured a silent Nick Offerman staring into the screen until he inevitably blinked. Don't forget to keep score.
Okay. So
Lots to unpack here.
there is, I don't know if it was on Netflix or if it was just on YouTube, but like a 12-minute, it may have been longer than that, like a 30-minute Yule log video.
Yeah, of him
That
sitting,
was just Nick Offerman sitting, drinking whiskey.
drinking whiskey. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen it.
I put it on Christmas.
Yeah.
So, and this sounds like that.
So Noah, I think, is thinking of that and like kind of spinning off. So Gaming the Gamer.
Yeah.
Oh, he's doing some Michael psychology.
3, count us down.
3, 2, 1.
Not real.
Ben says real. Daniel says not real. Yeah. Daniel takes the point.
Yeah, it's happening, folks. It's not going to happen.
I just didn't want you to. I wanted some suspense
Oh, yeah. Good.
in the last round.
All right.
What will happen? What will happen? 1 round left.
5-6. Daniel's only 1 point behind. And the final question, I do have some extra questions, so this might work out.
Okay.
The Witcher Fireplace. There are a number of fireplace simulators on Netflix, but this one is specifically themed around Netflix's TV show, The Witcher. We were just talking about fireplaces, just talking about Nick Offerman. All right, Daniel's ready to go.
Daniel just flipped Noah off.
Yeah, I think he did. He's trying to count down, but
He held up 3 fingers. He held up his pinky, his ring, and his middle finger, and then he counted down, but he started pinky, then ring finger, and then he was.
Thanks for that, Daniel. All right, just for that.
Love
3,
you guys.
2, 1.
Real.
Whoa, it is real indeed. Both Ben and Daniel take the point, meaning that Ben wins 7-6. Have you
Good job, Ben.
Have you guys seen that fireplace?
No, but I've seen some of those simulators. So there's my mind is blank. Who's the Japanese like director of animated Totoro and all that? Miyazaki. So there's a Miyazaki film called anyway, there's Cinder. Cinder is like this little character. He's a
Howl's
puff of
Moving
flame.
Castle.
Yes, from Howl's Moving Castle. He's a puff of flame. I just butchered that. My daughter and wife would be so disappointed in me.
Yeah, there are like 5 fireplaces on Netflix. It's amazing. You can have your choice You want the Witcher branded one? I don't know. There were quite a few.
Great. That was great. That was a great game.
That was fun. I'm glad I was able to pull the wool over your eyes a little bit.
So what are your bonuses? Like, what's the weirdest that's actually a real show that you still have in the tank?
Well, the other ones were shows that I thought you probably knew, like Floor is Lava. If you guys have seen that.
It sounds like Wipeout. Is it like Wipeout?
It's kind of like Wipeout. It's a game show based on the concept that. Am I being played off? I feel like. All right, Noah, that's nice.
Yeah, great story.
We're running out of runtime.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah.
We are at like what, an hour?
Yeah, we do have to get Noah to stop talking.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
but
Coming out here with a 12-question game.
Wipeout is back. Do you know this?
Oh, it's terrible now.
HBO bought it, and John Cena is the commentator.
It's terrible.
It's not as good. Not as good.
And then Peacock put out Frogger, which is basically the same thing, but Frogger based. And I tried to watch it because I love the original Wipeout, and I made it about 10 minutes before I gave up. So.
Like the original Wipeout with those guys from like the guy from CNN or ESPN. It was classic. So good.
John,
I
yeah.
still love those shows. Anyway.
Okay, we need to have you guys over, and we need to stream the Wii game of Wipeout because it's the best Wii game ever made.
No, it's
What?
ridiculous. It's so hard.
So good.
I've played it with you before.
It's one of those so bad it's good kind of games.
Do they have ballsy?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can play as Ballsy.
Oh my gosh.
It's amazing. And you can play as the host. You can play as John, what's his face, and John Henson. It's John Henson, right? It's
Yeah.
like Jim Henson. But
Oh, yeah.
The Johns.
the
When you said
Johns.
you can play as the host, the only thought in my mind was like, I can just be the commentator. That sounds like such a boring game. I didn't I was
Commentate while
you
computers
could, You
play.
could be the, yeah. Okay.
You're his like little anime.
Well, I have always wondered
Avatar.
that because, like, on sports games like baseball or football, Madden, whatever, it like you can set like you open a menu and you like player 1 is going to control this team, player 2 is going to control this team, and whatever. But you can set it up to where no one controls a team and you can just start the game. I was like,
I just watched a video about this with Mario Party where
Really?
they set all 4 players to computers and you got like 4 big YouTubers and they all bet like $10,000 on a character.
Whoa.
And then they just watched these characters play, like the computer play Mario Party, and they all had like $10,000 riding on the winner.
Wow.
I bet there's sports betting for that.
That's a great charity stunt.
Yeah. I don't think they did that. I think they just kept the money.
They kept the money. Well, thank you all so much for listening this week. Thank you, Daniel, for being here. Thank you, Noah, for being here. Congratulations to me for winning. But congratulations to you, because we're all winners here at Noodles at Noon. Daniel, do you have anything you'd like to add?
This has been great.
Noah, do you have anything you'd like to add?
This has been great. I'm really glad we didn't do this outside.
Me too.
Yeah.
This is stressful because normally the show just ends and I stop talking right when the intro ends or
Yeah.
the
Now
song
you have to
ends.
time it.
So we have to time it.
Now
so.
you got to stalling.
Listen, next week, Brian Stanley's going to be on.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Good job.
I'm so stressed.